Hello everyone, today we're talking about Ray's Keltec RDB. Tell us all about it, Ray. We put up some videos with us at the range, got a chance to put some rounds through it. Indoor range, not really using that 8 power to its fullest ability, but still a fun rifle to take out.
So first thing that I'm going to just throw out there is I put the scope on while it was on 1 power because I just needed an optic on it so we could take it to the range. I kind of planned on this being on there from the get-go, but it was just a real quick thing. I did put it too far back. I'm too used to putting things on ARs and putting it far forward, but to put it all the way forward on this, it would be all the way up here, and that's too far, so it needs to be about, like, here, give or take.
So next range day, just moving it, like, 2 rails forward and should be solid.
Pretty much. But I just wanted to address that because I know somebody's probably going to be thinking, this seems a little bit far back, and I do believe we commented, man, we can barely see out of this fucking thing.
Yeah, no one really comments on it, but, you know.
There's always someone, and if somebody's watching this and they're like, I need to put my scope all the way back, there's also that aspect.
For ARs,
I don't want to give people the wrong idea.
People have, like, their, like, setups. Like, if you have a red dot, it'd be a little more forward to have the magnifier behind it. If you don't have a magnifier, it can be further back. And, you know, whatever.
And then there's also, like,
at the end of the day,
how you want to look.
At the end of the day, it's whatever works for you. Different optics will have different eye relief, so whatever works for you.
And on 8 power, this does have eye relief. On 1 power, it has, like, no eye relief. It's, like, infinite eye relief. So, that's just that. So, first thing is, the price, $10.45 after taxes and fees. I know, ouch.
It's expensive for just in general, like, talking ARs, that's a pretty nice AR you could purchase with that.
I mean, you could build a pretty decent arrow precision for that much.
Talking like bullpup rifles, that's essentially the cheapest one you can get.
Like so just gonna wrap for a minute. You're probably expecting me to be like, the Keltec, what a piece of shit. What a gigantic waste of money. Ray, why did you spend money on this? Good God, $1,045? It's barely worth $200. Wrong. I'm saying it right now. I fucking love this thing. It's actually pretty good. We haven't put a whole lot of rounds through it, but thus far, maintenance, disassembly, and pretty much everything about it has been top tier. And I have shot a IWI Tavor. I believe it was one of the older models that actually had a magazine release like this one has. And then they went to the push button, I believe, which was their, like, 2nd or 3rd model. But this one has a lot of the same features as the Tavor and a couple of other different bullpups, but it's a lot simpler. It's been fairly reliable, and everything that I've ever seen about this is it is a reliable gun.
It's a thing when like people talk about, like, you know, owning AR now, like the longevity and that, it's like, it's just because it's been around, you know, at this point for such a long time. On this being new, it's like, yeah, like we can put a lot of rounds to it, but how's it gonna hold up 20 years from now? We can't tell you that. But as far as, again, something to complement an AR, I think this is a solid rifle. Same magazine, same ammo.
Yes.
And if you want to show, what I really want to show is just the size of this.
We'll get to
okay,
it.
We have an AR next to it, and just to show you the length, I guess the compactness this offers, which that's the idea of a bullpup.
Because this is a really nice compact package, but going back to what I was saying, the Desertec DMR, I believe that's like a $2,300 gun, and it's way more complex, and it uses like the gas impingement system like an AR. The Tavor, I believe it uses, I'm not actually sure what that uses, so I'm not going to speculate. But this one uses like a semi-short stroke, long stroke gas piston. That sounds weird because there's a tiny little piston up here that pushes on the really big piston that's right here. So I'm going to say that it's a short stroke, but at the same time, it's got like this massive rod on it, and it's not like segmented anyway like my AR is. So it's a little bit different, but it's a little bit similar to both of those. But that's also a good thing because the SKS and the AK, really known for reliability, they both use piston systems, and there should be no exception. The controls on this are actually entirely ambidextrous. Here's your charging handle right here, and you can pull this back and lock it up, or if I pop out the magazine, you can just use the bolt release back here, which is also fully ambidextrous. Magazine releases right here. Safety right here. So it is entirely ambidextrous because you can actually take this, and even during disassembly, you can, it's like the easiest part to like swap over. You just pull it out, put it on this side. So you can make this an entirely left-handed gun, which is really cool because there aren't a whole lot of those that are out there.
That's very
even
cool.
The AR isn't entirely like
the feature I appreciate with this rifle is the ejection,
which is right here.
Yeah, because with an AR, like if you're in indoor range, you got like your little stall, so when it ejects, it'll hit the wall, hit you,
or hit the cameraman.
Yeah, yeah.
And so it's also got a multi-position gas system, which is really cool. Really cool all around. And now let's do what you want to do. And
yeah, with just the size difference, I'll hold this. You want to hold over the AR?
So this has a
I'm trying to get the whole barrel on camera, but 18-inch barrel, right?
Yep. And then this has a 16-inch barrel. So, this is with the stock collapsed, and you can see this is just about like 6 inches longer.
I'll bring it down a little bit, like just so.
Here, set them on the floor.
Okay. On the floor.
Yeah. As you can see.
Here. And that's obviously with the stock collapse. So bring the stock how you would have it shooting.
I would just have it fully extended.
Yep.
And now you can see it's a good like foot of difference. So you're saving quite a bit of space there.
But you were saying for weight, they're very similar?
Yes. So this uses a multi-piece short stroke gas system. This uses a somewhat multi-piece short stroke gas piston. The rifles themselves are about the same weight.
And this is without the light, without the extra grip. Yep.
And this also has a polymer handguard. But this one, all of its mass is towards the rear, so holding it with one hand, all of the weight for this thing is a bit more out here, and it's like spread out from here back, but out towards the front there's a bit more because of the gas system. This one, you literally have your hand underneath like 9/10 of it, and then all of the action parts are right back here, so it bounces more towards the rear. So holding this with one hand,
like just
really
the feel
easy.
For the feel of it, for the pistol gripper here, for the forehand, it does have like a very plastic feel to it.
Yes, which into the negatives.
Yeah, that's one of the negatives. It's
the grip texture is very blasé. It's just a bunch of like little squares. It's a very Keltec grip texture.
Yeah,
in fact, I believe it's the exact same one on your P17.
Yeah.
This positive note, the rail isn't really sharp. Like when you're like holding onto it because it's a little bit contoured, which this comes with a rail already on it, which is really nice. But it is a plastic rail on a plastic handguard, and I don't really like this handguard, but they make aluminum M-LOK handguards for this. I want to get one of those.
I did not know that. Is that on their website?
Yes.
How much do they offer, or how much they charging?
I don't remember. I believe it's like 100, but that's not bad considering that rails for ARs are about 150, 200. So that's really good. What else did I want to say?
For more negatives?
It only came with a 20-round magazine.
Yeah. Which, again, if you already own an AR, you're going to have plenty of magazines. And this is a 20-rounder. It does look a little better with the 20-rounder because the 30 will extend a little bit longer.
Yeah, it extends down to about here, give or take.
Yeah.
Which I kind of would have just rather had, you know, a 30-rounder with it because why the hell would I want a 20-rounder?
Yeah.
But at the same time, now I have a 20-rounder. So,
yeah.
I suppose one other thing that I could say is the charging handle, the way that it locks in. Like, since I have this right here, it's a little close. But something that I do like is you can entirely ignore the bolt release, and you can just use the charging handle and just lock it up and then slap it down like it's an HK, which is kind of nice.
Very cool. Again, very cool. The controls are easy to use. and compact. That's the benefit of the Bullpup there.
Yeah.
But again, it's like, all right, Ray. There's an intruder. You have your Keltec on this side, on the right hand. You got your AR on the left hand. Which do you choose?
At this point, I would choose either. This has given me no reason not to choose it. Assuming that I have it set up with the rail that with the handguard rail system that I want, with a flashlight.
Yeah, with the light up front, yep.
Yeah, I'd go with this. Obviously, I'd set it up more for home defense. This is more for, like, I had some
that at one
Halo vibes with this, so I wanted the scope up there.
Certainly.
So I'd probably put more of like a red dot and magnifier, pretty much that exact same setup, which this rail up here is aluminum. So the one that you're attaching your optics to is aluminum. This one is polymer. But if you throw on that aluminum M-lock, I would assume then you can put on any sort of thing that you want. So if you wanted to put on like a night vision like device, it'll stay zeroed. Which the way that this disassembles is it has.
Would you like to hear another drawback of this, of the Bullpup rifle in general?
What is that?
It's a French design.
Is it?
Yeah, French guy in the late 30s. And the French military still uses Bullpup today.
Yeah, the FAMAS.
Yeah.
Which
could be yours for like how much, like 30,000 or how much they want for them.
Yeah, they only imported like 100,000 of the semi-auto FAMAS rifles back in the day.
Yeah, so you can either get yourself a pickup truck or just a FAMAS. It's up to you.
Yeah, I'd rather just have those.
No, I think it's engineered very well. As far as like, just what I would like to see is just not cheap plastic. But that's literally my only. That's my only thing. Like, I would pay a little bit more for a little bit.
The ability
better
to swap out grips and just have it come standard with that aluminum M-lock handguard.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that's going to make it cost a little bit more. But this is literally $1,000 less than, I believe, like most other things on the market.
I was just thinking how would it affect weight, like switching all the plastic for aluminum.
I mean, aluminum's fairly light.
It's fairly light. That's what I'm trying to think. I'm like, I think it'd be a little like heavier, but we're not talking pounds. We're talking like ounces.
But at the same time, it's also going to be a lot less bulky. It's going to be a lot like more streamlined at that point. Which this has 4 pins. You got one here, one here, one here, and one here. You don't need to take out this one. You just pop out this one, and this one. The entire action comes apart, slides off these 2 pieces, and then you can get to all of your guts. And just,
so at this point,
it's super easy.
At this point, you're super hyped in the Keltec. Would recommend.
I definitely would.
I have no idea how available they are.
Not a whole lot. We're in the middle of the coof. And,
like, as far as how many are produced, obviously they're trying to sell as many as possible, and they really can't keep up with the demand because there is quite a high demand. Yeah.
But even before this, Keltec had kind of a reputation of certain guns are a little bit hard for them to try and churn out for whatever reason. Considering how good this one has been and how good everyone seems to say that it is, I'm gonna say that that's probably a good thing. Like, if they're taking a bit more time with this, that's okay.
Yeah, that's a good thing. We're okay with that.
Like, they're sitting there just chucking P-17s out the door, like, by the crate. But these things are coming out, like, a couple at a time.
For a time, like, P-17s were kind of hard to get for a small time. Now I've seen them more available. I've seen them on the shelves at, like, other gun stores. So, hopefully the same with this. Hopefully they become more available.
The place that I got this from, they had 4 of these and then 4 of the 308. And by the time I actually had the money situated to
what's the price difference?
This was the last one on the
What's the price difference with that 308?
I believe the 308 is like $400 more.
Might look into getting myself one of those.
It also takes foul mags.
Oh.
So, which foul mags are super available and super reliable. So
very cool.
That's actually a pretty good thing in their case. Plus, you get the nice little rock and lock.
So, final thoughts on the rifle.
I like it. I'm hyped for it. There's only a couple of things that I didn't like about it. I'm usually really negative about Keltec.
But you can switch them out, so it's not the end of the world for the stuff you don't like.
The only one thing I can't switch out, and that's this grip. Just make it so that way you can put on like an AR grip, all
Yeah.
things are good. I don't know how you
I like
could do that.
It's like
so
it's like
it
a
is what
hole
it
in the
is.
P-17 every time I shoot this rifle.
Don't say it like that. Not gonna like the rifle less. Oh, one thing we didn't talk about the trigger.
Go ahead.
The trigger is like 5 or so pounds, give or take. Let's just. But yeah, I'm gonna say it's about 5 pounds, but it is actually a pretty decent trigger. My spaghetti. Okay, so reset is right there. Yeah, it's probably about 5 pounds, but unlike the Tavor's trigger, it's not kind of mushy. It's actually like a fairly solid, like blasphemy incoming. It's kind of like the HK USP's trigger. Like, it's a little heavy, but it hits that one sturdy, like...
Yeah, it hits the wall,
and
then
hits
right
the
there.
sturdy part, and it just
Yeah.
breaks, and it's fairly clean.
Mhm.
So, yeah, that's actually kind of surprising when you're talking about Keltec. Well, yeah. You want to give it a go?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
All right.
See what you think of it. And then keep it held down.
Okay, hopefully reset.
Yeah. Why is it so harder for like somebody else to do it for you? What do you think?
0 to leverage. Look, man, I love this thing. I think it's great. Again, availability questionable. So as far as like if I were to get one right now, unless I'm going to like someone reselling theirs like on Gunbroker or something, paying a little bit more.
Which you don't want to do.
Yeah, but
like there is a dude price gouging these for $1,700.
Which, whatever. People will do whatever they want to do.
They are, in fact, gonna do what they want.
Well, no, I'm saying, like, their incentive is, like hypothetically, right? You buy 4 of these, and you're like, I'm gonna resell them. The demand is there. There are certainly people that are gonna pay $500 above the retail just to own it. And it being Gunbroker, there's enough eyeballs looking at it. There's gonna be one guy that'll do it, and that incentivizes him to do it again and again and again. And it's not the end of the world, whatever. Retailers, like as far as like the issue now, a lot of places you can't place an order. So like I can't go to a gun store and be like, hey, I want this. Oh, and they'll be
then just wait like 2-3 months for it to show up.
Yeah.
It's like, no, you need to be there when it's there.
And now it's like you like as far as I'm aware, as far as places I've been to, I can't place orders like that. It's whatever inventory they have there, and which is fine because typically a lot of places have a lot of cool stuff coming in constantly. But if you want one specific thing, it's kind of hard to just pick it out locally like that.
Which, on that note, I will throw out there, the place that I went to get this isn't exactly our favorite place to go.
No,
it's kind of got a bad reputation for price gouging.
Well,
so this was probably marked up a little bit.
Outside
you can
of that,
probably find it a little bit cheaper.
Outside of that, it's just little like, customer service stuff like them. Like, oh, did you call ahead for check for ammo? But if you call check for ammo, it's like, do you have any rimfire? Oh yeah, it's in back. Do you have 22 Magnum? I don't know. Oh, okay. Well, that was my point of me calling. That's fine. I'll go in person. But they'll have 17 HMR, not a lot of 22 LR, and then stuff like that. Like obviously like us being that guy, we're calling every place. You have 5.56. You have 9mm.
Like I don't do that. I just go to my same places over and over.
Which it's along the way to like gun store that we typically go to. But this is like more close to us, but. Whatever. Point is, demand is high for everything. So you getting one of these, it's not impossible, but I don't think it's worth paying $500 above retail.
No.
That's my only thing. But very cool rifle.
I don't actually know what their listed MSRP on these is.
On like their website.
Yeah.
Who knows? I don't know because it's typically.
So I don't know how different it is, but I'm just throwing out there the place that I went to does have a habit of raising their prices. Even when it's not a pandemic, they're usually the more expensive option to try and go to. Just kind of how it is. But overall, like a lot of its features and baseline, I love a Keltec.
Would recommend.
Like
what is the world coming to?
What is the world?
Ray's out here recommending Keltecs.
You're goddamn right I am. Covenant ain't gonna know what hit him. Tell you what.
Well. That's the end of this video. Thank you guys for watching.
And remember New Mombasa.